Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thank you very much for joining me for this week's Friday Sews video. This is where I'll talk about what I have been sewing, what I will be sewing and a little bit of life as well. However, this is a very special edition of Friday Sews because it is the reveal of the collaboration that I've been doing with the very lovely Mel. She's Melanie Keane over on Instagram, and we have both made the Avelia jacket, so I cannot wait to share my version with you at the end of this video, so you'll have to stay tuned. So what's been happening this week? On the vlog you will have seen my May Makes video, so I released that this week. Thank you very much to everybody who's watched that so far. If you haven't had a chance yet, I'll pop a link up here and down below if you'd like to catch up. I'd like to say also a massive thank you to everybody who watched my Friday Sews last week, which is where I had a collaboration reveal of the Elodie dress, and that was a collaboration I did with my very lovely friend Clare, so I'll link her video on that reveal down below. Be sure to check it out, her version is beautiful. I loved making that dress, it was really nice, and thank you to all the lovely feedback I got on that. I did actually wear that dress last weekend. There was a few kind of graduation things, end of term things for my boys, and I really enjoyed wearing that dress, and I have plans for another, so watch this space. So last weekend was very warm here in Dublin, very warm, so I was very glad of a lovely floaty Elodie dress. However, on Saturday it was a beautiful sunny morning and I had the absolute pleasure of meeting my two lovely friends, Anne-Marie and Lorraine, for a cup of coffee, because there is a lovely fabric shop not too far away from me. It's online only usually. It's called Celtic Fusion Fabrics and it's run by the lovely Gwen. And I'd seen on Instagram that she was having an open day, so I thought, oh, that would be quite a nice thing to duck down to. It was a beautiful Saturday morning, glorious drive down the country, is absolutely beautiful. So I met Anne-Marie and Lorraine. We had a sneaky little cup of coffee and Lorraine was so kind. She gave me a little prezzy. She gave me this little bundle. It's upside down, and in it are three little bias binding holders. They're the Generates ones. They are utterly adorable. You know how much I love bias binding, and now they're going to be displayed beautifully. So Lorraine, thank you very much for that. You're very kind. So we met for a lovely cup of coffee, had a little chat, and then we meandered our way down to the fabric shop, which was just beautiful. So as I said, gloriously sunny morning. She had a little display outside. She has a little cabin to keep all her fabric. It was just beautiful. So thank you very much to Gwen for hosting us. So we spent a good bit of time there perusing the fabric, chatting, having a little cup of tea. Hopefully I'll pop in a few pictures along the way here as well. It was just a really lovely way to spend the morning. So will I show you what I bought? I bought a few little items. So I bought obviously flamingos, little craft cotton, love that. Then I found this, I think it's Tula, so it's a little hippo and herons and all kind of things. I think it's adorable. I love these colours. You can see it matches my nails. Then I also bought these little cherries because obviously you have So Fruity on your brain in June, don't you? So lovely bit of cotton there as well. I think that's Robert Kaufman fabric. Yeah, so little cherries. Then I also bought these two fabrics purely for my boys. So this one has little foxes on it on a blue background, and then this one I thought was the cutest thing. It's polar bears, but it's summer polar bears, and I don't think polar bears get enough press during the summer. So this one says summer vacation, this one says sunny day, so this one is going fishing, this one has a little swimming ring, this one has a little ice cream. I just thought this was so cute, so I wanted to make little things for my boys. So I'll show you what I'm almost finished making shortly. And then one piece of dressmaking fabric and I got is this, and this is a brand called Fabulism, which I had heard of, and the fabric is just beautiful. So it's a kind of a cotton, almost like kind of very lightweight kind of cotton canvasy fabric. It's beautiful, these little daisies and this beautiful green, and I think I would like to make a little top, maybe a handsy top or a Helen's Closet Ashton top. I think would look really pretty in this fabric. I think it's beautiful. So we had such a lovely morning there. It was so nice to go to the open day to see the fabric in real life. A beautiful sunny day in the country and it was just lovely. So huge thank you to those ladies. I just had the best morning. So I came home and I showed my two boys the fox fabric and the polar bear fabric, and I said, what would you like me to make? And both of them came back straight away with answers, which I was quite impressed about, really. So where'd I put them? Yes, so Baby French Seams instantly said, I want a sunglasses case, because he saw mine. So that was one of my makes for Sew Skin Summer, and it was a sunglasses case tutorial which was put out by my lovely friend Sam. So Let's Sparkle, I'll link it below. It's fabulous, and I made that for that challenge, and he obviously knew I had that. So what I did was I sized down considerably and made him his own little one. The only difference I made, aside from sizing down, was I just put a seam at the bottom because it is directional and I wanted the foxes the right way here. And then inside I've got a little polar bear peeking out saying summertime, and here's his little itty bitty sunglasses inside, and he's very happy with this. The next one I'm almost finished with. Older French Seam says, I want a circular pencil case. So he was quite specific. So I went Googling on the circle pencil cases and I found this one. So it's not quite finished and I'll link it below. So I was trying to fussy cut the little polar bears and stuff here. So it's a little circular pencil case, a bit like the ones we had when we were little, with the little circles either end and then little tabs to hold it. And I put on a zip from Purple Stitches, I believe, and then a T-Rex zip pull that my very, very lovely friend Adam Sews very kindly gave me. So he absolutely loves it. This does come with 2 pattern pieces, which is great because you can do it directional fabric, which is great. The only thing I have to change, and I didn't realize the pattern intended you to do this, I thought you kind of bagged it out, but you actually have to, you sew the little ends together and then you have to bind them. So I just have to hand bind the 2 little ends, but that's the only thing that's finished. Older French seam saw this on my desk this morning. He said, oh, you finished my pencil case? And I was like, no, I just have to bind it, I'm sorry. So hopefully I'll have that for him later, but I think it came out quite nicely. So yeah, I should have really read the pattern first before ploughing ahead with it, but never mind, lesson learned. But I think it's very, very cute, and he's got the little foxes on the inside as well, which is adorable. So they're both very, very happy. So, and you know how I love a little crafty make. So that's a little bit of sewing I got up to. I had a delivery. I think I mentioned this last week. I got a delivery from Vibes and Scribes. I was waiting for, because I wanted to, as I just moved my little book, sorry, I wanted to finish my sepia pajama bottoms, and I did finish them now because I got elastic, and I just put in a little label here as well. Sorry, my light is going a bit strange. So I finished off my sepia pajamas, which are very, very cute. So I had ordered elastic from Vibes and Scribes, and it came, and it's lovely. It's actually called boxer elastic, and it's really, really soft and really smooth. This is 32 mil. The pattern does come for 38 mil, but I struggled to find 38 mil to be honest, but I think this is fine. So I got a lovely pink colour and a lovely grey, and it's really, really super soft, and it's got lovely stretch and recovery. It's really, really nice. So I was very happy with that. So that's all ready for my next pair. I also picked up an invisible zip because that's for my groovy Betty, which I'm hoping to get done soon. I got some bag foam, which I love having because, as you know, I'm making a backpack, 2 backpacks in actual fact. The Adam Sews backpack, I'm hoping to get that started very soon as well, so I need lots of foam for that, so I picked up that. And then they do have lovely woven interfacing, which I really, really like using. So it's not the very stiff, firm kind of plasticky stuff, it's this more woven variety. It's iron-on, so it's very, very nice quality, so I was keen to get that as well. And then I treated myself to this. It's a little teeny weeny stitch counter for my knitting and my crochet and all that good stuff, and you can attach it to your finger like this, and then it's got a counter and a reset button, so you can increase, can you see that? Hopefully you can see that, increase the little rows here. And I just thought this was adorable, really, really cute. So I was really pleased to get that because I finished another pair of socks. So as I mentioned last week, I was very, very close to it. Knitting had been kind of put to the back burner because of the crochet blanket, but I finished my new pair of socks. So here they are. This is the Brenda's Trusty Toe-Up Socks. So I was doing them 2 at a time. You may remember I had an awful lot of hassle around the heel, but I managed to resolve it. It was all good. And I'm very, very happy with how they came out. So bound off the top, I'll link the video that I did using that below, and very, very happy with how they came out. And I think they're really, really cool. So delighted. So what have I been sewing this week? So as you can probably tell, this is one of my latest makes and I absolutely love it. This is the Belle Dress by Starlock, and I wanted to make it for the longest time. You will have seen in my video last week that I made a toile, so very rare for me toile, and I'm very, very glad I did because it gave me a little idea of the techniques and all that good stuff. The instructions are light, I will say that. I kind of just looked at the pictures and kind of followed along to what I thought it should look like, and it kind of worked out. I have since found out, so thank you very much to everybody who highlighted it. There is a fabulous sew along for this dress as well, and I'll link that below. I think it's very, very good. It's very, very well done, but I was able to just about piece it together. It was kind of a little bit of a head scratcher, but good fun. So I really, really love how this came out. This is a fabric from Rainbow Fabrics that I got recently, so use my code Rachel !VIP if you'd like 10% off site-wide. That's an affiliate link, thank you very much. And as soon as I saw this, I thought this was going to be a swooshy, swooshy summer dress, and it's totally worked out of how it was in my head, which is lovely when that happens. So to give you an idea, it's got these lovely kind of balloon sleeves. I did the elastic cuff version. It does come with a sheared sleeve as well. I just chose this one. A little bit of gathering here. It's got a lovely yoke, then beautiful gathering at the bust here, then this little, if I stand up, this little waist panel here, and then a full skirt. Then on the back it's got a yoke which is burritoed. I just used my knowledge of burritoing to be able to do that. And then it's gathered into the back bodice, and then it's gathered into a shearing panel at the back. So hopefully I'll pop in a picture of that as well. So just loved all the techniques in this, and I really, really love how this dress came out. Apologies if the light is dipping in and out. Not quite sure what's going on. So I really tried to stripe match, to pattern match, all that good stuff. I think I did okay apart from one section. You can see a little blue bit here in the yoke, but hopefully I got away with it. Then I got beautiful buttons as well from Cloth in Dublin, little blue ones. I bought them with my lovely friend Anna, and we found these beautiful blue buttons, which I think are lovely. And then we saw these beautiful diamondy ones, and I really wanted to use these, but I think that little bit there is kind of too big, so they kind of droop down. You can't see the full diamondy effect. So I'm going to save those for another precious project instead. But overall, really happy with this dress. I'll pop in a picture of it over here. So it does have a burrito yoke, which is lovely. Then all the gathering into the bust here is just really pretty. The waist panel here is lovely and lined on the inside. You do have to turn that under and top stitch, but I think the finish on it is absolutely beautiful. I made a straight size 10. My measurements put me in a size 10, grading to a size 12, but looking at the finished garment measurements, I thought a size 10 would be absolutely fine, and it is. I didn't add anything to the length. I think the length is very good. I did add an inch to the bodice though, and I'm very happy I did that as well. The only difference I made is the pockets. So it does come with inseam pockets, but I attach them to the waist seam as well. So I will actually, in a few weeks or whenever I get around to it, release a video on how I alter pockets to be able to sit nicely into the waist seam. I think it gives a really nice finish. So delighted with this dress. I think it's a really pretty pattern, and I can definitely see myself making more. So now onto the reveal of our Avelia jackets, and this is the collaboration that I've been doing with the wonderful Melanie Keane. So if you don't follow Mel over on Instagram already, I'll link everything below. Be sure to give her a follow. She's a wonderful sewist and just the loveliest lady. So I was delighted to be doing this collaboration with her. Wait till you see her version. It's incredible. So this is my jacket. So this is boucle fabric from Rainbow Fabrics. So you might remember that it was actually silver. I decided to use the reverse because I think I'd get far more wear out of it just being plain black. So I hummed and hawed, I cut out the whole thing and then just decided to flip the pattern pieces, basically. So then the lining is this beautiful viscose I got from Love Fabrics Ireland. I think matches perfectly. And then on the sleeves, I just did plain black lining. I popped in a little Rosy Cheeks label here, made to party, which I think is lovely, really nice. And then the cuffing we'll come back to shortly. So this is the Avelia jacket, and it's by Mood Fabrics, and it's a free pattern. So I made a straight size 12 to 14. On reflection, I don't think I should have. I think the 12 to 14 is fine at the bust, but I really should have graded out. And what I did was I measured the pattern pieces against my Billy sweatshirt, and I thought they were in and around okay. I did add an inch to the bodice on the next time I make it, and I will make it again. I think I'll add 2 inches. I didn't add any length to the sleeve. The sleeve is absolutely perfect. For the hips, my measurements put me in a 14. However, on the Mood patterns, they give you the 8, 10, 12, whatever it is, but then in the actual pattern piece, it groups them. So that's why it's a 12 to 14 in the top. I should have actually gone out then to a 16 to 18 on the hips and maybe just taken it in ever so slightly. My hips are 41 and an 18 is 45, but of course it's grouped into the 16. So if I needed to, I could have just skimmed a bit off the side, but so it's a little bit snug. I'm not going to lie, you can probably tell in the pictures, but I think I'll get away with it. I'm not quite sure I'd wear it zipped up anyway, but I think it's such a nice jacket for a free pattern. It's really great. So that's the sizing. I did add the little pocket here on the sleeve, which I love. So I just made the lining a little bit bigger, and this is where I keep my lipstick. So I think that's an adorable feature, and it's lined on the inside as well. I think it's really cute. I did add inseam pockets. Now the instructions on this, they're light. They are very light. However, the fabulous Mel, when we started this collaboration, sent on 2 links to me of various Sewalongs on YouTube. And I never think to look at Sewalongs when I'm sewing or doing a pattern. I just plow on with the written instructions and just hope for the best. So I'm so glad that Mel sent on those 2 links, and I'll link both of them below. They're very different. One of them pretty much follows the pattern, so it doesn't have the inseam pockets. But then the other one does the construction a little bit differently, and it does have pockets. And I saw the shape of her pockets, and I basically did my own pocket piece, and it looks like this. I basically measured my phone, measured my hand, and that goes the other way. So this basically goes into your side seam like this, so your hands go in like this, and I think the pocket worked out really well. So this is my pocket. It's I did the lining fabric, so it goes in, and it's fully cut into the bottom band, so it doesn't go anywhere, which is fabulous. And I definitely miss the pockets if I didn't have them. So construction wise, because I was using cuffing, I wanted to hide all the raw edges, all that good stuff. So I used the method where you put them right sides together. You basically construct the whole of the outside, the whole of the lining, put them right sides together, sandwich in the neckband and sandwich in the hemband. And then you can turn the whole thing out and they're fully enclosed, which is great. Then when you also do that, and this is the bit just it got me. I looked at the video so many times. I slowed it down to 25% to understand how to do it. In the end, basically, it means that you get your cuff and it's fully lined on the inside. There's no visible seams. You don't have to do any top stitching, any stitching, stitching, anything. It's magic, and I'm so pleased I did it this way. So everything is fully enclosed, there's no raw edges. The only thing that you have to top stitch is the side of the zip, because that's a bit you do last, and you would top stitch the side of a zip anyway. The zip I got from Quilter and Stitch, it was a little bit longer than I needed, but I just kind of tucked it in at the top, and I think I got away with it. The cuffing. So initially I wanted to use lovely cuffing that I bought in Stitch Festival, and it was black with gold stripes. I had one pack of the poppy pre-made cuffing and it was nowhere near enough. I tried to supplement it with a navy one I had, all that good stuff. It just wouldn't work. So in the end I just said, right, I'm just going to buy more. So I ended up buying about 3 meters of this beautiful gold one from Quilter and Stitch, which I think looks really cool. So I was able to use that. I did change the neckline. The neckline, the pattern kind of comes like this, and it has a bit of a kind of a step, like a real kind of square neckline. I wanted to make it look more like a kind of a typical jacket. So I just kind of curved it purely by eye and tucked it in here, and I think gives a very nice finish. So the one thing you have to do if you are doing the method where you have everything neat and tidy, you do kind of need to have this little tab here, and that's in the second video I used, and that's just a little bit of fabric here, which means you can open up this seam here, and that means you can tuck your entire zip into it and then top stitch the whole thing down. So you can see here this is all enclosed as well. So you do need these 2 little tabs to give a really nice finish. Otherwise you're doing your kind of you're flipping over the inside of the waistband and then you're trying to enclose the zip at the same time, which is a little bit trickier, and it means you can't do the nice finish. So very happy with that little tip. I think it went in really nicely. This zip went in very well. I was very happy with it, and it does of course have this lovely kind of zip placket as well, which gives a really nice professional finish. It does have a centre back seam, which initially I thought that's how you bag it out, but you don't. But of course that could be handy for fitting, or if you did want to make any last minute alterations. So it does have a centre back seam on the lining, and it has a centre back seam on the back as well. So all in all, I'm really happy with this. So this week, between this jacket and the Belle dress, it really stretched my sewing brain, but I was really happy to kind of learn new techniques and really think about things. Aside from the yoke tobacco, but never mind. Really think about things, watch videos, learn new techniques. I was really happy with it, and I just love how this came out, and I will definitely be making more now I know what I'm doing. I'd love to make it in a ponte, a lovely kind of sparkly fabric, or being totally inspired by Mel's amazing version. Be sure to check hers out at the reveal. But I think it's a really nice pattern for a free pattern once you have the supplementary information on the Sewalongs and all that good stuff, and you keep your wits about you. I was sewing this up in probably one of the hottest days of the year, and I was melting. I was trying it on for fish, trying it on to make sure everything, and it was just baking in here, and this frays, and there was fluff everywhere, and I was getting so frustrated. One night I just said, I'm going to bed, I'll deal with this tomorrow. But yeah, I absolutely loved making this. It was lovely to make it in conjunction with Mel. We had a few texts back and forth. I think we both had a few issues, but we both talked it through each other. It was just marvelous to be able to do this collaboration with her. So Mel, thank you very much. And I haven't seen your full version. Maybe I will before the end of this video. Maybe I'll get a picture to sneak in, but it looks beautiful. And of course Mel's sewing is just impeccable. It always is. So that is my Avelia jacket. Are you tempted to make one now you've seen a few versions? And hopefully I've saved you for pitfalls as well. I will definitely be making another one though as well, along with my Belle dress also. So that's all the sewing I got done this week. Plans. So what are my plans? I have a few things cut out, because cutting out is my least favourite thing. So I do that kind of in batches. And I've got in my little project bag, I've got my Liberty Donny cut out, which I think I might like to get made up. I don't think that really takes me too long. It looks like it has pink dots. It doesn't. And then I was also thinking of making my Groovy Betty. So here you go, this lovely fabric from Rainbow Fabrics. I show you the groovy fabric. So I think I might get that going on my Betty dress. I've got that all cut out, and that's why I needed that pink zip. So I think, where did I put it? It's disappeared. So I think that would look really good in this dress. So they are going to be my plans for this week. So I think I'll leave it there for now. I hope it wasn't too long, and I hope the lighting wasn't too distracting. If you like this video, please, as always, I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up, and please also consider subscribing. I would love to have you along on my sewing journey. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it just means you get notified whenever I put out videos, which sometimes is a mystery to me. If you would like to leave a comment on anything you've seen today, or if you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment in the comment box below. You know how much I love having the chats, and I do get back to everybody individually as soon as possible. So massive thank you for watching. I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and I will be back to you all again very soon with another video. Take care everyone. Bye.